Namaste, Jai Gurudev. We'll start our second session today with 3 Omkar. Please sit straight and gently close your eyes. Deep, long breath in. Breathe out. Once again. Deep, long breath in. And exhale deeply. Now, we'll recite Om. Breathe in for Om. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadetamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Feel the vibrations, or you may contemplate upon the meaning of this prayer. Once again, take one deep, long breath in. And while exhaling, slowly open your eyes. Jai Gurudev, Namaste once again. So friends, yesterday we have understood why we are reciting prayers, why we are reciting Shanti Shanti 3 times. We have discussed about the connotation of dukkha. Also, we have discussed about the threefold suffering. And we have analyzed that the man-made means fall short in overcoming this threefold suffering permanently. However, our ancient masters, on the basis of their experiments, they have concluded that this threefold suffering can be overcome permanently while you are alive. Only condition is that you have to understand who you are. And it was discussed that here starts the Indian thought. That is what is the purpose of the whole Indian scripture, whatever it may be. So, it was also discussed yesterday that they have given us a fourfold strategy, which is very much similar to the medical science, wherein we have discussed about the disease, cause of disease, health state, and treatment part. The same strategy also, that was the first lesson of Buddha when he talks about the Four Noble Truths. You know, he has said that there is a dukh, there is a pain. And samudaya, another word he has used, second one is samudaya, it has origin, the cause. It is to be understood. And then he says that this pain can be ceased while you are alive. And he has given the ashtamag, that is the treatment. Similarly, we were talking about Patanjali Yoga Sutra. In detail, we are going to discuss later on when we discuss the sutras. The four-fold strategy, the terminology used by Patanjali is heya, that is what we have discussed yesterday. Heya means that which is to be avoided. Heya, the opposite of upadeya, what is to be accepted, acceptable, and what is to be not acceptable, avoidable, that is called heya. So pain, that we have discussed. It was also discussed that the pain which we have experienced in the past, we cannot do anything. If you remember that time and again, you will again in pain. Therefore, there's no need to brood in the past. So, even Patanjali says, even the present problem, the present dukh cannot be avoided. Yesterday I was talking that whatever the storehouse of various subliminal impressions we have brought along with our birth, it is to be experienced. If we develop that kind of discriminative knowledge, with the help of which this pain will not be pain for us, but whatever we have brought along with our birth, it is to be experienced. Yesterday, the examples were given to you. Many people who were saintly people, you might have observed how they died. So only the pain which is not yet come means a future pain can be avoided. So we have to give thought on it. It contains a philosophy behind it, that if we do our activities with awareness, we can avoid. If we do our activities mechanically, again we are going to repeat this cycle of birth and death, this pain and pleasure. So, through the Kriyaman Karma, through the awareness, if we cultivate that awareness, we can avoid the formation of future karmashaya, the future storehouse of our subliminal impressions. So this is what heyam dukkham anagatam. What is the cause now of this dukkha? Clearly, it is not only Buddha, not only Gautama, Akshpad Gautama, everyone has accepted that As Patanjali says, Drashta Drishya Sanyogo Heya Hetu. Hetu means cause. Drashta, the sheer principle, the self, what you call, the pure consciousness. Drashta. Drishya, the manifested world. Drashta Drishya Sanyogo, the misidentification of seer with the seen is said to be the cause of the problem. Now let us understand this properly. Today, I have misidentified myself with this body, with this name, and whatever is associated with this body, my wife, my children, my house, my car, my this, my that. I have misidentified myself with that which I am not. The self is said to be omniscient, omnipresent, and this prakriti, what we used to call, is what you call the inherent, inseparable force of this consciousness. This is to be understood. It is very, very important. As the heat and light is inseparable from the sun, but we are misidentifying ourselves with that which we are not. This body, mind, senses, all. Beautifully in Kathopanishad, Atmanam Rathinam Vidhi, Shariram Rathamevacha. This body is said to be the chariot, and Buddhim tu Sarathim Vidhi, and Buddhi, the intellect, is said to be the driver, the charioteer. Mana Pragrayamevcha, and with a view, the what you call the, and who is dragging this chariot? There are 10 horses. What are they? 5 of our sensory organs and 5 of our motor organs. And Vishyas Teshu Gocharan. What are the roads? What are the objects of the senses are said to be the roads where all these horses are walking. And with a view to control the horses, there is a rein, what we call the manas. Manas is said to be the rein. So rein is under the control. If this rein is under the control of the horses, this intellect, the sarathi, then these horses will go towards the destiny. But if this rein is not under control, then these horses will run towards wherever they see the green grass, their object, they run towards that. So this is how we have to understand that we are misidentifying ourselves with this body, although this body, this charity is very, very important. As Kalidas has said, Sharira Madhyam Khalu Dharma Sadhanam. We cannot do anything without this body. So we have to take care of this chariot. We have to take care of this chariot, and that is the reason why we have to do what you call this exercise, asanas, pranayama, this and that. We have to take care of this. Now, this misidentification, what is the cause of this misidentification? You will say that it is very difficult. How we can say that I am misidentifying, because I'm thinking, I'm enjoying. So long we are misidentifying ourselves Because of this, we are in pain. We cannot escape. And this identification is because of the perception error. Perception error, in technically we used to call it avidya, wrong knowledge. Wrong knowledge. So this perception error, what is this perception error? This is me and this is mine. And I have separated myself from this cosmos. I am living in the world which I have created of me and mine. Let me give you one example of Bhagavad-Gita. You know, Arjuna was a great warrior. He was knowing everything that why this battle is imposed upon them. He was very well aware of this. And when he reached to the battlefield, he requested Lord Krishna, take my chariot to the center. I would like to see the opposite party. And in the first sight, you know, what he saw? The Bhisham Pitamaha. Then Guru Dronacharya. Then other kith and kins. And he was reminded immediately. He immediately, how he was playing in the childhood, how he was sitting on the shoulders of Bhisham Pitamaha. So the thought came in his mind. What is that? This is me, Arjuna, and they are mine. Now, the thought, how it started, you know. Now he started thinking, if I kill them, it will be a sinful act because they are my elders. He is my teacher. How I can kill my teacher? How I can kill my Bhisham Pitamaha and all this kith and kin? This is the first thought came in his mind. The second thought, if I run away from the battlefield, it will also be a sinful act because I'm a warrior, I'm a Kshatriya. So he was in the conflict. What to do and what not to do. All of us, we are facing such type of odd situations in our life. Friends, he was totally in the despondency state of mind. And Lord Krishna understood that at this moment, he may not be able to listen because he has misidentified himself that who he is. At this moment, Lord Krishna stops little and then, you know, in the second chapter, he started Sankhya Yoga. We are going to discuss all that because Sankhya is a theory and Patanjali Yoga Sutra is a practice of that theory. Unless we know something about Sankhya, this Yoga Sutra will not be understandable and not practicable. Therefore, we have to go there. Sankhya, second chapter. Everything. Naimatma. Nenam Chindanti Shastrani Nenam. Gurudev has written this, you know. Na shastar se kate nahi agni jalaye galaye na pani na mrityu mitaye vahi atma सच्चिदानंद में शिवोहम 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 यही ज्ञान अर्जुन को हरि ने सुनाया, यही ज्ञान वेदों में ऋषियों ने पाया, वही आत्मा सच्चिदानंद में हूँ। शिवोहम 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 शिवोहम. All this knowledge. But in spite of that, he is again in the conflict. He himself says, Karpanya dosho vit subhava prichhami tvamam samudchita. I am totally infatuated. I do not know what to do and what not to do. So you have to show me the path, ultimately. And when everything is being told, but in spite of that, he says, whatever you say, it is correct, but chanchalami himana Krishna. This mind is so fickle in nature. It runs faster than air. It is very difficult to control. And Lord Krishna accepts. Asensyam Mahabaho. No doubt about it, Arjuna. Whatever you said, you are very right. Mano Durnigra, it is very, very difficult to control the mind. What? Abhyasentu konteya vairagyen griyate. There are two. This Abhyas and Vairagya, we are going to discuss in detail. These are the two beings with the help of which the sadhaka can fly high in the sky, in the spiritual world, only with the help of this. And this is not only for the sake of spirituality. Wherever we want to be successful in wherever you are, these are the two, what you call the general methods applicable to each and every field, wherever you want. So many things. And ultimately, Lord Krishna synthesizes the Gyan, Karma and Bhakti. And ultimately, he said that Sarv Dharman Paritijya Mamekam Sharanam Vraj. He was not convinced, till he didn't see the Virat Roop of Bhagavan. When he saw the Virat, and Lord Krishna said, you will not be able to see my cosmic form because with these eyes. So therefore the divine eyes were given to him. But even though he said that, no, you stop this, I do not want to see this. So friends, this is a perception error. When we are misidentifying ourselves with this body, with this mind, with this, that, there's a problem. So, and Maharishi Patanjali and Buddha and all, they say, tad abhavat. When there's no perception error, when there's no wrong error, when there will be no misidentification. If you remove this, sun is there. Black clouds, if you remove these black clouds, automatically there will be light. So this ignorance, this wrong perception is like a cloud. If we remove this cloud with the help of proper knowledge, as Buddha says in the Ashtamaga, in the Eightfold Path, he has also described the Eightfold, but that is a bit different. Right thinking, right speech, right mindfulness, all these things he had given. So when this black cloud, when this darkness, in other words, the tamas, is removed, then light will be there. So there will be no misidentification. That is the state. This state is said to be, according to Patanjali, is the Kevalya state. But now the question is, this is the health state. Swastha, when you stay in your own Sarupa, this is Swastha, that is a Hana state. But what is the treatment now? That is the fourth, what you call the pillar. Then Patanjali says, and also Buddha says, and all says, all say. What do they say? Patanjali says, Abiplab Vivek Khatir Hanopaya. That is the treatment, Hanopaya. This terminology, Heya, Hetu, Han, and Hanopaya. Hanopaya means treatment. Now, what is the treatment to remove this curtain? He says, Abiplab Vivek Khyati. Let us understand this properly. It is the 26th sutra of the first chapter, or what you call the second chapter, sorry. Wherein says, Abhipla. Bipla means that which is shaking. Our hard knowledge, our inferential knowledge, it is always shaking knowledge. Whatever I am talking with you, someone comes and says, Dr. Sharma, you are talking like this, it is like that. And Dr. Sharma his knowledge may be shaking. If it is not based on his concrete experiences, anubhuti park agar wo nahi hai, then that knowledge is said to be shaking knowledge. So bookish knowledge cannot help. Hard knowledge cannot help. You may have heard. That is what I have discussed. I was singing, you might have heard this. I am Sat, Chit and Anand. Truth, wisdom and bliss. But only heard, it is not experienced. The knowledge which is based on your concrete experiences is said to be abhiplab, unshaking knowledge. And that discriminative knowledge, that discriminative discernment is the treatment to remove this curtain, to remove this black cloud in the form of ignorance or avidya or whatever you perception error. Now the question is, from where this concrete knowledge is to be cultivated? There's a question. Clearly, Buddha says through the Ashtamag, and Patanjali says through the eightfold path of yoga. If you go through the 28th sutra of the second chapter, it says, Yoganga Anushtanat. When you follow this eightfold path of yoga, what will happen, he says, Ashuddhi Kshaya, all kinds of impurities. Impurities, friends, it is not only this physical impurity or this impurity. All Shadripu, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Matsar, internal, that is called. So when all impurities are removed in one hand, there will be a light of wisdom on the other hand. Yoganga Anushtanat Ashuddhi Kshaya, when the purgation of this, what you call, the elimination of these impurities, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, negative thought, whatever, you can add the list in. When this is removed, there is a light of wisdom. In that light of wisdom, you are, from where it will take you? It will take you to the Viveka Khyati. Aviveka Khyate. To the Viveka Khyati means the discriminated. you will be able to understand, I'm not this, I'm this. So this is what is the fourfold strategy which is given by Patanjali, and almost the same this strategy can be used in our day-to-day life, my dear friends. Application of this, we have to understand where we are stuck. What is the cause of that? If you understand, try to remove the cause. And once you are able to remove that cause, it will be clear for you. And to remove that, there may be, you can take some help from other, your friend, your other people. Do not hesitate. That is what. So this fourfold strategy, this is the first lesson of Buddha, and this is the first lesson of Indian thought. With the help of this now the question is that what is yoga? What is that eightfold path of yoga, with the help of which we have to eliminate this, and we have to. So in the next lecture, we are going to discuss what is yoga, and thereafter slowly we'll come to Patanjali Yoga Sutra, because unless we lay the foundation, it is not so easy to understand Patanjali, because he is a depth psychologist. So today I'm stopping here, and we'll continue tomorrow. What is yoga? This will be the topic for tomorrow. Thank you very much, and good night.